Hello, my awesome artists. Today we are going to make stained glass windows out of yarn, watercolors, and glue. So here are two examples. This one is clearly not finished, but this one is here. So let's get into how we can make our own stained glass window. So you're going to have your sketch where you're going to figure out your drawing on here first. And this is a packet full of pictures to give you ideas of what you could draw. Don't make it too complicated because then it will be harder for you when we get to the final part. So here's a bunch of examples in here. And pick one thing. So I am going to choose the heart. So I'm going to do the heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch my heart out on my paper first. If you need to erase it, you may. I will have erasers out on the counter that you can use them. Does your picture have to look exactly like what's in that picture there? No. Make it your own. So I have my heart drawn in here. And now stained glass windows, if you remember, don't work if they don't have the supporting glass in between the areas where this colored glass will be. So I'm going to add in some different areas. Well, let's first do a frame. So I'm going to draw a frame all the way around. You can draw your frame however you want. If you need to use rulers, you may. I'm not going to use rulers for my sketch, but I will on my final. And I really like how in this flowers, they're divided up a little bit more. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more lines on here. I'm going to do that one a little off center. Now my heart is just floating in space. So I'm going to add maybe a diagonal line going through here of glass. And this is going to be another diagonal line of glass going through here. Now, what you're going to do once you have that figured out is you're going to draw it again on your final copy, taking your time more, making sure you're doing a good job. And also, if you don't like something about it, you can change it a little on your final copy. For example, I want to move my heart down more towards the middle. So I'm going to start on my final copy now. Okay, I have my final completely drawn on here now. So what I'm going to do is first we're going to make sure my name's on the back, which it's not. So I'm going to write my name, Miss Miller. And then I'm going to add my class code. So let's say I'm in 3rd grade, I'd write 3rd and then the initial for my teacher's name. So let's say my teacher is Miss Kim, I'd write Kim. Or let's say I'm in 2nd grade. I'll write 2 dash and let's say my teacher is Mrs. Wright, W. Okay? Okay, so here's already my started copy. And what you're going to do, boys and girls, is try not to make the mess with the glue like Miss Miller did. But you're going to first take your yarn and we're going to use our yarn to outline over those lines that we drew in pencil. So I'm going to take my yarn, I'm going to measure the distance there of that piece. I'm going to take my glue bottle, draw glue on the line I just had in pencil, and then I'm going to put my yarn on top of that line. Try to get it to stick on there. Your hands might get a little messy. We are not going to wash our hands until after we have this finished because there's no point in washing our hands when they're just going to keep getting dirty. So once again, I'm lining up my yarn where I want it to be, the length, cutting it, and then drawing my glue with my glue on my pencil line. The yarn is sticking to my finger. Ah! There we go, it's gone now. Oh, much better. And I'm going to put this on my glue line that I just did. If the yarn is a little longer than your paper, do not worry about it. We will not cut it until after our project has dried. Because if you try to cut it while it's wet, what's going to happen? If you try to cut it while it's wet, it's going to fall off the piece of yarn that you just put on there. Not worth it. You're going to outline all of your lines that you drew in pencil with yarn. Some of them, depending on the details you did, they might be a little difficult. But I have faith in you guys. I know you can do it. Okay, so I am all done outlining with yarn. Extra yarn, return it to the pile. If you have pieces of yarn that are sticking up a little, add some more glue to fix it so that it doesn't pop off. Remember, don't cut off the long edges. And I'm going to take this over to the drying rack and let it dry in the drying rack. Have fun, my most awesome artists.